buddy. How you doing?
Well, good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? Pretty good here, and welcome to the channel. Going to take you guys just on a couple little errands with me this morning. And the first one, and I'm here now, is at the gas station. And here in Texas, we have what are called stripes. Seems to be the big chain here anyway. And I'm filling up the Tacoma. I was about, half a tank or so. So I like to keep it a half a tank and above. Doesn't do great for checking mileage though, but we're going to check that anyway. So I'm here. It cost me $1.899, $1.89 a gallon for regular gas here in Texas, for those of you who are wondering. And I put about 9.09 gallons into the truck. So I'm going to start it up here, see what the mileage reads from the previous tank, assuming that it hasn't reset. I didn't think about that. It may have. Let's take a look. Well, first I got to figure out how to work my machine. All right, the average on that tank was 15.9 miles per gallon. Not very good, but a lot of stop and start trips. So, I suppose it's not too bad when you're constantly stopping and starting and driving at I guess an average speed of probably, I don't know, 35 to 40 miles an hour. Again, with a lot of stops and starts in there. We've been to the post office. I got something in the mail. This came from Gear Runner. I'm sure he won't mind you showing me showing you rather, his P.O. box. And of course, there's mine on there if you want to send something cool and legal. Anyway, we're going to proceed now. The rest of the way home, I think. I had to go to a UPS store this morning as well. So we've done that already. I didn't figure you guys would want to see my long road trip to the UPS store. Actually, not that long, but when you don't know where you're going, which I didn't. It took a little while. So, like I said, we're going to proceed now the rest of the way home. And while we're doing that, I guess, I'll give you a bit of an update. I've had the new tires on here for a little while. And for those of you that don't know, I lifted the truck and then I put 295/55 R20s on here on a 20-inch fuel wheel. And loved the look. Look was great. The ride was okay. It was a 10-ply tire, so it was kind of stiff. But nonetheless, it was okay. I had a problem. I had a problem with rubbing when on a severe turn, either left or right. They would rub the upper control arms. So I had to do something about that. It was either replace the control arms, with something a little bit more sleek, put spacers on, or change tires. And it just so happened that my wife was going to put new wheels and tires on her Jeep, so it worked out well. She liked the tires that I had, and she used them for the Jeep, but that's a different topic. So what we have on here now are 275/60 R20s, and I gotta say they are perfect for this truck. I mean, if you're going to do I did a 3.2 ready lift on this, but a 3-inch or a leveling lift, whatever you want to call it, with some 20-inch wheels, they work really, really well. They're comfortable. I did go with a 4-ply. I did not go with a 10-ply on this. I could have, and originally that's what I was going to do, and then I thought, gee, I don't really need a 10-ply tire, and nor do I want the roughness and the bumpiness and the discomfort that comes with that. I think if you're going to do a lot of off-roading, 10-ply is probably a good way to go, especially if you're going to be crawling over anything potentially rough or sharp like rocks. But not for me. This is a pavement princess, a mall crawler, except I don't go to the mall. Maybe a hardware store, maybe a Lowe's crawler, Lowe's and Home Depot. Speaking of that, here I was a dedicated Lowe's fan. I must admit, never went to Home Depot when I lived in Ohio. But here in Texas, the Lowe's is somewhat lacking. It's not like it was in Ohio. Lowe's in Ohio had everything. Not the same here. So now I'm becoming a Home Depot convert. But anyway, back to the tires. They're fantastic. They fit perfectly. There is no rubbing, no scraping, no issues. Would have still had to trim that front air dam or chin strap or valance or whatever you want to call it, because of the bigger tire itself. They're actually 0.2 of an inch taller than the 295s I had on here before. Go figure. But no issues with them at all. They're very smooth on the road, and I know every once in a while you're going to see the truck bounce a bit because it is a truck, and it is going to be a bit bouncier than a car, of course. But I would highly recommend them. What I have on here are Nitto Ridge grapplers, and they're fantastic. I love the look. As I mentioned, I think they're an aggressive looking tire, and they still give you a little bit of road manners, you know. They're comfortable enough that you can daily drive the truck and not have to be beat all over the place because your tires are so aggressive that they don't like the road. They don't like the pavement, you know. Which again is fine if you're going to be doing a lot of off-roading. Obviously, you're going to want to have the type of tires that you need for that. And we're going to hit a bump here, and you guys will probably bounce all over the place. Not too bad. Updating you guys on the lift on the truck. I get questions here and there about that. I would highly recommend it. You know, people always say, you should go for this lift or that lift or these shocks or those springs or do this and spend that and whatever. And it's very easy to do that when it's not your money. But to get what I wanted, which was a more aggressive looking truck, a lift obviously, and more aggressive wheels and tires, I'd kind of call it almost a budget setup, you know. I think I spent about $3,400, something like that, on this setup that I have right now, and that would be wheels, tires, the lift, the labor, balance, alignment, all that good stuff. About I think it was $3,400. And I don't know how you could get all of that for much less than that. Maybe if you do it yourself. You know, that included labor. You know, the labor to do the wheels and the tires and the lift and all that itself. So I think it was a pretty good deal. One thing that I'll mention too about the lift, you know, I got the idea for what I was going to do with this truck from a truck that I saw on the dealership floor. I actually copied that. I did the same thing. I changed the wheels a little bit, but they were in essence the same. And I wonder if they did anything. I wish the truck were still there so I could go look, but I wonder if they did anything to alleviate the UCA rub, because it was the same truck, the same setup, and there's no way that setup on that truck didn't rub the UCAs. So I'd be curious to know, and if by chance the current owner happens to be out there, although I don't know how you know who it is, but if you've bought a truck lifted from the dealership, did you have any trouble like that? Did you have any rubbing issues? And what did you do? Did the dealer let you know that might be a problem? Did the dealer accommodate for that? Did they put different UCAs on it? Did they put spacers on it? Did they set the offset or have the offset differently so that you didn't have that problem, you know, to get the wheels and the tires further out away from that UCA? And it doesn't take much to do it. You know, on mine, I probably had, it was about the width of my pinky. That's the clearance I had between the UCA and the tire, at least on the nub part of it. You know, it has little nubs on the side, the tread. That wasn't enough. Now I have about an inch, inch and a quarter, maybe an inch and a half, and no issue. So I would tell you that if you're looking to do a lift on a truck and you're concerned about rubbing issues, other than that chin strap, which is going to have to be accounted for, you need to have at least, I don't know, an inch, inch and a half of clearance between your tire and that UCA or you're going to have a problem. I know because I experienced it. So take it from me. Make sure that you bring that up if you're going in to do a lift, that you have at least an inch and a half clearance to avoid that. Because the last thing you want to do, and it sucks, is get home, after having the thing lifted, it looks fantastic, but then you get out there on the road, you make a turn because you're backing out of a parking space or coming over a dip with your wheels turned. It will do it then too. And you get rubbing. It's a drag, let me tell you. But like I said, everything's cool now. Anyway, just wanted to bring you guys along with me, run a couple errands, give you a little update on the wheels, the tires, and a little advice, I guess, if you're looking to do a lift. As usual, appreciate you guys watching. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Click that subscribe button if you haven't before. And we'll see you next time on the web. Have a good day.